And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to this special presentation of Stony Brook Seawolves hockey, live on LI Sports Network, here at the rinks in Hauppauge, New York. As the Stony Brook Seawolves finish the homestand this afternoon against the Niagara University Purple Eagles. Mike Calandra back and ready to bring you the action alongside my good pal of mine, Trevor Magnani. Trevor, to recap last night, Niagara picking up win number 21, but they didn't do it without a challenge thrown their way by Stony Brook, almost keeping them held without a goal for nearly 40 minutes of play.
Well, last night's game was a pretty exciting one here. Stony Brook felt like they were just one step away at almost all points of the game until late in the third period. But let's go through the scoring summary from last night's game. The action got started 4 minutes in, where Charlie Bellinger puts in his 20th of the season with assists from Alex Little and Aiden Callan. And then we went basically scoreless all the way until the last minute of play in the second period, where Johnny Wesco pockets his third of the year with an assist from Charlie Bellinger. And now both of those goals there, from Stony Brook's perspective, those are ones they want back. Bit of a puck mishandle there on the first goal there, and a broken play there on the second goal there that leads to the easy goal there for Johnny Wesco. And we'll bring it over to the third period here, where we were basically scoreless all the way down to the last few minutes of the game here. Stony Brook still in this game here, tons of shots on goals. Didn't quite cash in on the power play as much as they should have yesterday. They had the 5-minute major that they were unsuccessful on. And at 17:39, Jacob Kalin pockets his 12th of the season there, putting the third goal in the net there for the Purple Eagles, and that was basically the dagger for the Seawolves. But the Seawolves wouldn't go down without a fight there, as on the power play at 19:58, 2 seconds to go in the game, Paul DeSaro puts his 20th in the net with assists from Lorenzo Mara and William Cormanic. Penalty-wise, a pretty quiet affair, all things considered. Legret went for slashing in the first period. Alex Little took a 2-minute penalty for head contact. There was a pair of roughing penalties at the end of the first period. We thought that was going to be the tipping point where things would come off the rails, but they didn't. Both teams played a relatively clean game.
I think that's a testament to the Stony Brook style of play. They're willing to adapt to get away from some of the rough stuff, the undisciplinary stuff that we've seen the last couple of seasons.
I honestly think that's messaging in the locker room. That's good on the coaches there, telling the teams you're late in the season here. No need to get caught up in any of the stupid stuff. And to both teams there, they stayed relatively out of it last night. There's a little bit of rough stuff at the end of the whistles there in front of the goaltenders. It's the stuff you expect, but nothing too crazy.
Well, we can't take anything away from the goalies who played their hearts out last night, especially Jacob Dubinsky coming in for Tom O'Radian. You would think it would be Jacob Pundick that would have gotten the nod yesterday, but he will be starting in between the pipes for Niagara today with a perfect record of 5-0 heading into this matchup. But man, Dubinsky.
2 seconds away from a shutout last night there, and I almost thought it was going to happen.
Regalado, however, he played a very exceptional game as well. Despite the 3 goals given up, he'll look to try to bounce back.
38 of 41.
Absolutely.
So a lot of shots on goal there for Niagara last night, and Stony Brook managing to get 31 on net last night as well. So look to see the Stony Brook try to keep the shots on goal count high and try to solve the puzzle in front of them a little quicker than they did yesterday.
Now, I want to put you on the spot here. When it comes to a winning ingredient today, what does Stony Brook have to do to pick up a major upset over Niagara?
Capitalize on the opportunities that present themselves. 2-on-1 opportunity, got to capitalize. You got a 3-on-2, try to capitalize. Create that zone pressure and try to make opportunities out of anything.
You mentioned opportunities. One of those opportunities that we saw that they couldn't capitalize on was the 5-minute power play, and it seems like that has been an ongoing theme for them this season, not able to capitalize in that moment.
The Niagara penalty kill was incredible last night. They met the moment and then some. Stony Brook was, I think they only had a couple shots on goal throughout the entire 5-minute power play, most of those coming on break-in opportunities. Not a lot of established pressure. For Stony Brook, getting that pressure in the zone is going to lead to more opportunities.
We'll see if that comes into fruition as we got about 14 minutes or so from puck drop here. I think we covered pretty much everything when it comes to what this game is going to be all about for today, Trevor.
Absolutely. Road ahead for the Seawolves. After today, they're going to go down to Oswego for a 2-game set here to close out league play for the ACHL North. And this tonight is our, or today I should say, is matinee is our last broadcast of the season. So we're looking forward to bringing you one final game here on LI Sports Network. And we look forward to another full season of action with you guys next season. But we'll have a full sign-off at the end to wrap up the season. But it's been a pleasure, Mike, to be calling these games with you throughout the season. And big shout-out to the team that's been helping us behind the scenes here, both at Long Island Sports Network and Gen Game Media, who provides the tech stack for everything that we do here, and LI Sports Network for marketing and video archiving this year. So big thanks to everyone involved. And with that, I think we'll take a break here. Go ahead and grab yourself a tasty beverage and a snack here. We'll be back in 13 minutes here on LI Sports Network.
And we welcome you back, ladies and gentlemen. We are a minute away from team introductions here at the rinks. As you see Chris Garofalo and Tom O'Radian meeting up at center ice for a last-minute chat before their two teams enter the play-in surface. Stony Brook will be led out by Steven Reginato, whereas Niagara, as I mentioned before, Jackson Pundick will lead the cavalry onto the ice as he searches for his 6th win of the season, which would keep his perfect record intact.
Yes, indeed. 5-0 on the season here. He'll look to make it 6-0 here. Stony Brook here trying to pull off what may be the impossible today, but stranger things have happened on Sundays.
That is certainly the case, as Stony Brook and Niagara, the last time they played on a Sunday here at this building, it went right down to the very end, almost to the very end, as Niagara won in OT after a valiant effort by the Seawolves, in which they came back from a 2-goal deficit, tying it late with just under a minute left to go, or a little over a minute and a half to go, I should say. William Kormanek provided the equalizer in that one, and then the game ended on the backhander top shelf by Connor Loft, the captain for Niagara, to give the Purple Eagles the win last year. But here we are in 2026, a fresh new beginning perhaps for the Seawolves to maybe rectify that loss and even last night's loss here on this Sunday afternoon. But before the puck drops, we're going to get our starting lineups from our public address announcer here at the rinks, Leon Bassett. So let's turn our mics over to the press box area.
This is our line for a game between Niagara and Stony Brook University. The stars for Niagara: number 9, Alex Weddle; number 67, Connor Loft; number 71, Katie Glover; number 14, Jacob Cassell; number 65, Nathan Huntington; and in goal, number 31, Jackson Pundick. And the stars for your Stony Brook Seawolves! On defense, number 2, Joe Cesaro. His defensive partner, number 14, the left winger, number 11, Christian Miller. The center, number 76, William Monahan. The right winger, number 91, Paul Isaro. And in goal, number 29, Steven Reginato. At this time, we ask everyone to rise for the playing of our national anthem.
One last skate for the Niagara Purple Eagles to get their engines tuned up Whereas the Stony Brook Seawolves will hear one last message from head coach Chris Garofalo before this matchup gets underway. And it's important to note Justin Nakagawa, who sustained a lower body injury in the second period last night that resulted in Connor Loft getting the 5-minute major, but not a game misconduct ejection, is in the lineup tonight. We saw him return for the third period after what seemed like it was not going to be the case, where he was helped off the ice from the training staff, from his teammates. Had really no ability to put any weight on that leg, the knee he sustained. I believe it was the left knee that he sustained the injury with. Yeah,
just probably keeping it really careful, getting off the ice there, make sure to get it checked out, and gets the all clear for today's game, which is good to see for the Seawolves. Justin's a big part of this Seawolves offense, so it's good to see him back out there again.
And in the spirit of the Daytona 500, we are off to the races as Niagara gets a first touch on it quickly here. Connor Loft spun it off the boards, couldn't clear out. And here is the chance for Cosette, bringing in the cavalry with him. At the top, here's Little. Missed his chance at scoring last night, bringing it off the post in the first. We'll see what the Purple Eagles have to deliver here, perhaps in the early moments of the first. Of this one, as that one is played off the body of Reganado. Trezera gonna clean it out, and this will be carried in further by DeZaro and Malik. No icing here. Malik coming in with the check, as Niagara will try to counteract the other way. Little sauces it ahead, got a touch on from Cosette as Nakagawa, his first appearance on the ice. He takes a hard shot there from Bellinger, one of Niagara's 3 goal scorers last evening, as Pundik making his latest save in this one.
Seawolves out to a bit of a quick start here, a little bit better than last night.
Robert Hyde had a fair share of chances in last night's matchup. Didn't lead to any goals for him. And there he is at the bottom, trying to get a hold of it. Now he has the possession. Hyde in front. Short side denied by Pundik, who holds up.
Stony Brook starting off with trying to get some offensive zone pressure here. So far able to get a couple shots on goal and a little bit of noise in front of the Niagara netminder.
Definitely a major contrast to what we saw last night, in which Niagara came full steam ahead. Stony Brook had some trouble getting their early chances, but it's the other way around today, as Reganado catches that one in the gloved hands.
And Reganado seeing those fast-moving Purple Eagles coming in, opts to slow it down a little bit.
And you can definitely agree with the fact the reason why Stony Brook seems like they come in with a different type of energy is because they didn't have the pregame ceremony, any lengthy delay leading into last night, similar to last night's game. They're just getting right at it.
Got to get the stats guys on that one and see what the senior day buff or nerf is on the players.
McCormick near the top, throws it just wide of the cage, and the Stepney will pick it up, one of the many impending graduates. And there is the Stepney taking off past the blue line. Hyde controlling down the wing, tried to feed it in front, but no one was home. Instead, it's Lucas Fancy and now Cowan who will lead it forward in the other end. Bellinger couldn't get a hold of the possession. Stony Brook trying to trek back the other way. Here they come with speed. DiNapoli fell to a knee there. As Joey Anastasio twirls around. Couldn't keep it in the zone, however. As there is Niagara building more momentum in the other end. Wesco scored at the 19-minute mark of last night's second period, trying to make it 2 games in a row with goals under his belt. Another chance, friendly fire there as Cowan took a shot from Wesco. Schneidmiller lofted in deep. Played off the stick of Reganado and further almost cleared out by the Seawolves. They'll stay in a little bit more in their zone. It's Napoli. This one couldn't be cleared out once again, but they do get some help here as Niagara has to pull back a bit. Valenti couldn't make much of it that time. Niagara maneuvering back in the zone. Sachka extracts himself from the pressure. Lost the possession ever so quickly to the Seawolves, who will try to clear out without any further damage. Trezera banks it off the boards. Couldn't find the intended target as Mara tries to make something happen here. Gives it a nudge up in front as Loft will knife it back. Little turns it over. Vernillo will try to keep it under control. Centering feed, scramble. Couldn't make its way on target that time. Sachka takes a shot there from Mara as he ladles it in once again. Kowalski roughed up in the end boards. Huevos takes a shot as well. Loft deals it over. Little in front, blocked again. Seawolves providing the wall to help Reganado stave off some of these chances. And we get a stoppage as that one is shot out of play.
15:32 to go in the first period here. Niagara doubling up the Seawolves in the shots department 4-2. Stony Brook now struggling a little bit here in this middle section of the first period. Niagara getting a lot of good opportunities here in good zone time.
William Cormanic back on the draw here. His final home game as a Seawolf. Glover getting a touch on it as DeZaro goes into Hunt. McCormick finds Cosette, who will bring it in further back in the zone. Cosette sent it wide, looking for an intended target. As this one, Huntington. Now Cosette couldn't do much of it that time as well. Kowalski. Anastasio. Who was that? I think that was DeZaro had trouble exiting the zone that time as the Seawolves try to clear out without any damage once again. Huntington looking for the possession, streaking to the net as Reganado makes another save to stop play.
And that'll be the 5th tally on the board there for Reganado. And Stony Brook still struggles to find their way through the neutral zone and establish pressure down in the Niagara zone.
Kyle Mastepny staying out there right now. He will look to direct some traffic. We get his team back into familiar territory right now. Face-off draw to the right of Reganado. Lucas Fancy, a dangerous component for the Niagara Purple Eagles offense. Schneidmiller got shoved along the wall, and this allows Nastepny to push back the other way. Nastepny with Hyde beside him, and Nakagawa coming back in the mix. Nakagawa takes over. Nakagawa tag teamed along the wall. As Haskins couldn't keep it in the zone, it leads to a 2-on-1 chance for the Purple Eagles. Back the other way. Cowan runs out of room to try to put it out in front, and the second opportunity couldn't be found for Niagara. Hyde taking over. Robert Hyde losing the momentum there and losing the possession along with it.
It was good defensive zone communication there from the Seawolves to get their assignment set up for that 2-on-1 and follow the shot down all the way and basically turn that opportunity into a harmless outside chance.
DiNapoli connecting with Legret. Legret with a speed burst, but offside's called.
Smith was just a half step ahead there and a half step too far as he was offside.
A big return to the lineup for Cooper Smith, who was missing in action last night. One of the many scratches for Chris Garofalo on senior night as DiNapoli steps back into the dot. Gudmundsson won it back. Here's Connor Loft. Loft, in 23 games played this season, has 7 points under his belt. Although yesterday he made noise in different departments. Would have probably wanted a better outcome in his performance last night. Fortunately for him, he didn't get ejected for the hit on Nakagawa. He'll look to maybe bounce back with whatever points he can grab here this afternoon. As LeGret tries to get after it once again. Cooper Smith committing the turnover and almost setting up a beautiful play there for the Seawolves.
LeGret almost got that one on his stick there, and it would have been a beautiful close-in opportunity.
Wesco tried to flip it ahead, and it leads to another turnover. Seawolves breaking out the other way. Mara tried to dance. Instead, Little had none of it.
Stony Brook was having some good opportunities there by just skating the puck and trying to make some moves, and looks like they're trying to replicate that success tonight.
Mara twirls away from pressure. Now he's closed off that time before Trezera takes over once again. Joey Trezera can't connect cleanly there with Mara as McCormick finds the stick of Sachka. Sachka looking to extract himself from the pressure given to him by Vernillo. Sachka gets a shot from a tough angle, couldn't get a good eye on it as Niagara stays in the zone. In the corner, Sachka, pressure by Valenti as Niagara begins to open up some real estate in the zone. McCormick lost the handle of it, and it leads to Stony Brook getting the possession back. Now the question is, can they get a shot opportunity off? At the moment, they've been struggling to do just that, despite the zone pressure they've given to Niagara. Chance from the top, blocked away by Pundik and out of play.
Another puck joins the netting over the rink here as Stony Brook will tally their third shot on goal. First bit of a sustained pressure here for the Seawolves that led to an offensive scoring opportunity.
I think this is going to be a big chance here for Cormatic. If he wins this draw, would be good for the Seawolves to get another opportunity off here. As Anastasio floated it off the glass. Joey Anastasio banks it up ahead. Malik got a touch on it. Now he's going to try to fight again to grab it once more. Cesaro doing the same. Here's Cormatic slamming on the brakes, dealing it back to Anastasio. Anastasio fires, screen in front, save made by Pundik, and play stopped.
Pundik able to get that glove right in the right place at the right time and stop the play there as the Seawolves are starting to find their footing here in the midpoint of the first period.
And Sergeant Lauren, you have to wonder if screenshots might be the way to go here. It's at best Pundik.
I think for the Seawolves, it's any shot is a good shot at this point. Can't score if it's not on net.
Stepney pressuring down low. Here is Anastasio. Gives it over. Wenrick, fadeaway shot, kick save. That time by Pundik. Hyde, watch out. Takes a heavy shot, stays on his feet as Stony Brook tries to push back the other way. Right now, Connor Loft gets it to Little. Little angles it forward. Couldn't make the connection there that time. Wenrick. Here's Stepney. Now Stepney gets by one. Leads the Cavalry back in the zone. Gets a shot off before getting destroyed there. Back the other way come the Purple Eagles. Cowan. Little fired it wide. Bellinger guarded by Nestepny. Reverse check. Nestepny stays on his feet but goes to the bench. Little floats it in front. Couldn't make it far into the zone as a hit off Poirier. And it negated maybe more of a chance for Niagara's play stopped for the puck going out of play.
And for the Seawolves, it's just going to be a matter of being able to buffer that top line here for the Purple Eagles and try to find some mismatches down the lineup here and make something happen in the offensive zone during those opportunities.
William Cormatic will look to try to make something happen here in this latest shift. As Charles Poirier, although the stats have not been as flashy as we expected. Whoa! Charlie Bellinger destroyed Malik. And Stony Brook almost scores. And the Seawolves will look to try to bounce back here.
Well, that is the definition of take the hit and make the play. That's a dangerous spot to be on the ice, though. Couple feet from the boards there, and someone barreling in on you. Clean check.
Christian Malik will sure be feeling that one tomorrow morning. That is.
Well, more importantly, he'll be thinking about it anytime he's in that spot there. The Seawolves get a shot right off the faceoff.
They are getting their chances coming to life little by little.
And icing is the call here.
Face-off draw residing back in Niagara's zone. The point I was going to make about Poirier is obviously the statistics have not been as flashy as we expected, but what he's done on the ice when it comes to blocking shots, getting plays set up, he's definitely lived up to those marks. The Quebec native awaiting in the shadows as Mara gets tied up on the draw. McCormick will clear this one up ahead. Couldn't make it far to his intended target. Now Mara will streak over to the other side to try to grab it. He knifed it in deep once again. Vernillo on the hunt. There's Labos back in the mix. Vernillo there to offer support. Seawolves able to keep it in the zone. On the play that time by Vernillo, according to Kowalski, before it gets cleared away. Hand pass signaled.
Well, it'll be a high stick actually. And
oh, okay. So face-off draw moving to the left of Regalado here. And for Stony Brook, after numerous opportunities previously in Niagara's zone, they're back to work in their own territory. Niagara, you can feel the pressure long coming against Stony Brook here, but the Seawolves holding their own for the time being. Deflection in front, stopped by, I think Regnat might have gotten a piece of it.
No, he got that deflected before it even got to him.
Sachka tried to make something happen to no avail. Legret lost control of it and leads to Niagara staying in the zone. Chance stopped. High glove hand by Regalado. He collects another save.
Regalado got that one for sure. And Stony Brook with a little bit of a miscue coming out of the zone there. Turns the puck over to a Niagara player who hasn't even gotten out of the zone yet. And Stony Brook's going to have to be careful coming out of the zone there, being sure that they're making those passes to stick to stick.
Well, they're going to have to be very cautious now that they have Bellinger back in the zone after that mighty check he threw on Malik. And there is Bellinger circling behind the cage. Fancy mixing it up down low. Here's Wenrick with room to distribute, as if Fancy doesn't have anything to do with it. Here's Desaro leading it up ahead. Cormanic got it in front. Mala couldn't get the job done that time.
A nifty idea there to try to go for the tip play in front.
Bellinger from tough angle, missing over the net that time. 8 minutes to go here in the first. Schneidmiller try to punch it up ahead. Trezara taken down. Play continues. Here's Lucas Fancy behind the cage. Backhands it back to the point. Here's Little. Fires, blocked in front. Scramble in there as everyone continues to mix it up along the wall. Bellinger dangling. Can he put it out in front? He did, but no one home except the Seawolves. Desaro.
Desaro almost got around his man there, but not quite.
Little doing his part at standing his ground and further clearing the other way. Meanwhile, Stony Brook will regroup ever so quickly. Nestepny galloping. They'll punch it further back in the zone. Nakagawa on the hunt. Now Glover and the Seawolves, they'll take almost that mishandle for their own benefit.
With a good poke check there to stop Nakagawa from getting a open opportunity in front of the net.
There's McCormick finding Cosette, but brings it back in the zone. Glover's opportunity denied. Hyde takes over once again. Lifts it up ahead. Nakagawa smashes that back on the ice. It's McCormick who will gather speed and push back the other way. McCormick pressured hard in the glass by Anastasio. But the play continues in Stony Brook's zone. Niagara still delivering that sustained pressure against the Seawolves. Now can Stony Brook develop something here?
4-on-2.
Labos. Vernillo just missing on that chance. May have gotten help from his stick in front.
A solid back
Another
check there
opportunity.
from Niagara to break that up there and really close that off from being a 4-on-2 to a 2-on-2.
Niagara back to recollect. Haskins swipes it back in the zone. Labos giving chase. McCormick taken down. Play continues as we have a scramble along the wall. McCormick flips it out of harm's way, and the Seawolves.
Leon thought that one hit the rafters. Not quite. Just snaked through.
Niagara playing it off the glass. Wesco. Will bust in once again. Wesco driving down the wing and behind the goal. Bring it back to the point. The connection couldn't be made inside the zone. Schneidmiller has to pull back and surrender the possession. Under 5 to go here in the first. Still no score. However, the chances are coming for both teams. Cormatic roughed up there. He takes liberties against Schneidmiller. Play continues.
Cormatic wants more. He's going to line up his man. Opts not to.
Cesaro still in pursuit of the possession. Malik looking to recover from the mighty check that was delivered by Bellinger as we get offside signals.
The Seals playing a strong second half of the first period so far. Keeping the shots tight here, 8-8, as we're under 5 to play here.
And Sachka, big man for the Niagara Purple Eagles, trying to make a massive impact in any way he possibly can. And we're going to get a delay off the draw here. Lorenzo Mera. He's been all over the place. Just hasn't converted on the opportunity as of yet here against these Purple Eagles. And you have to wonder if that time may come soon, as Mara's got the arsenal in his game to do just that. Heavy check thrown by Mara, and this may set up Stony Brook to break out, but they'll have to pull back here as they couldn't find the zone exit. Now they do, with Vernillo leading the charge. Can't get his way through the defense that time. Vernillo trying to poke it back in the zone. Swipe and a miss for Sachka. Stony Brook almost taking advantage of it, but Sachka regroups quickly and flips it back in the zone. Anastasio trying to wheel it out of harm's way. Stony Brook still prevented from exiting the zone.
Seals looking a little slow out there on this shift.
Little. And another save accounted for by Reganado.
A tired Seawolves line will get a much needed change here. Down to 3:18 to go in the first.
Bellinger has been held without a goal so far here in this period. He's got 8 goals, 11 points in total against the Stony Brook Seawolves in head-to-head play. Last night he collected 2 points. Here is a turnover and a possible 2-on-1. The Stepney looks. Pundik shuts the door.
I think he wanted to try to get that pass over as soon as he got the commitment from Pundik, but unfortunately that door was long since closed to get the puck across.
You had a feeling that maybe he was going to send it across, but maybe that just slight decision at the end costed him that time.
Oh, he's waiting for Pundick to commit there, and when he did, he just didn't have the space.
Chance Hyde in tight, denied. Maybe the best opportunity for the Seawolves so far is Hyde had a lot of velocity on that chance. Tapped on, but misses wide. Stony Brook will stay in the zone. Hyde just misses the stick of Stepney, and it leads to Niagara pushing back the other way. 2.5 remaining here in the first. Nakagawa angles it across, no one home. Here's Cosette. He battles through and scores! Muscled off the hits and fired it upstairs to put Niagara up 1-0. Tenth of the year for Jacob Cosette. The Purple Eagles break the ice.
That's a goal there that the Steelwolves are going to want back there. Is they didn't really get enough of a body check on Cosette there, and basically got to let him take a free shot at the net. And unfortunately, he was able to pick the corner there on Reginato.
Seawolves will now try to bounce back from that, and the Purple Eagles showing no signs of stopping here. Stony Brook looking to prevent further damage. Glover flips it up ahead. Cosette back on the hunt once more. Cosette try to play it out in front to no avail. Niagara will stay in the zone. Schneidmiller shakes, got the shot off. Reginato making the stop.
Schneidmiller and Desiro getting into it a little bit at the blue line there. Nothing major to report afterwards, though.
And one thing that has been noticeably different from last night's game is the physicality. Maybe there were a couple big hits so far thrown this first period, but not of the terms of whistles being blown and the extracurriculars.
I didn't really have much of that last night either. We had a lot of good, clean checks, and we have a lot of good, clean checks today, too. So it's what we want to see out there, especially as we get towards the national tournament playoffs, is keep it clean, keep it hard, and it's the hockey you want to see out there.
Niagara looking to play to their strengths in the best way they possibly can as Stony Brook trails 1-0. Poirier try to dip and dive, but he's taken down hard, drawing the penalty in the process for interference.
Probably the easiest. No one's going to argue that one. The puck was long gone, and the check was late, and he got his money's worth.
With 1:08 to go, the Seawolves will activate the power play units. They went 1 for 3 last night. As you alluded to in our pregame, Paul Desaro notched the power play goal for Stony Brook to end the shutout bid of Davinsky, and we got our first Stony Brook Orthopedic Associates power play underway.
That one takes a strange carom off the side glass.
Robert Hyde. Seawolves coming into this matchup, converting on 5 goals in their last 18 power play attempts. Whereas Niagara, they come in with one of the best penalty kill percentages in the ACHA, 80%, 82% I should say. So we've reached the final 30 seconds here in the first. Hyde works it back to the point, flips it across. Anastasio controlling. Deals it back to the point, Poirier. Got it across, Hyde, one-timer, score! Bombs away! Power play goal, Robert Hyde.
That's so good, we got to see that one again. Stony Brook sets up the power play nicely here, and as you say, bombs away there as a sliding Pundick is unable to get that one in his glove.
It's been the type of goal he's been searching for so long. We've seen him try it so many times, but has missed that opportunity up until now.
That's a feel-good goal there at the end of the period. Stony Brook just has to close out the period there, and they can hold their heads very high going into the locker room, keeping this one knotted at 1 going
It may not be
first.
done just yet. They still got 10 more seconds for one last execution. However, it's Niagara doing it the other way. Time about to run out. 3 seconds left on the clock, and that will do it. After 20 minutes of play, it's Stony Brook 1, Niagara 1. First impressions on the period, Trevor.
I had different thoughts until the power play happened, but for Stony Brook, it's a period where they've played, I want to say 75% of it to the best of their ability, and the 25% is where they were making mistakes getting out of the zone, the weak opportunity that led to the Niagara goal. But power play is the best we've seen it all weekend. It's a very good highlight for the Seawolves going into the first period. And if you're Stony Brook, it's keep your head down, keep grinding. You're going to get your opportunities. You will score, and you got to keep it positive. Keep the messaging positive in the locker room. If you're Niagara, the messaging is probably a little more awkward. It's, hey, guys, what was that? We can't take silly penalties here in our own zone here. That interference penalty taken was absolutely unnecessary. But for Niagara, they know they got it. They have the firepower to do it, so it's just a matter of they got to get their heads down and do what they need to do to get ahead in this game.
And this is exactly what Stony Brook wanted to have. They wanted to strike right away when it comes to power play opportunities instead of waiting around and missing on their fair chances. They got it to go almost immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. But for this game here, we're long from done here. We've got 40 minutes of hockey left to play here. So stick with us here. We'll be back in about 13 minutes time here for the second period here on LI Sports Network.
At Stony Brook Medicine, our gastroenterologists perform a groundbreaking procedure that restores the ability to eat, so Kevin can enjoy dining out again. Our kidney transplant team has one of the fastest transplant rates in the nation, so Pat can spend time doing what she loves. Our skilled surgeons perform robotic-assisted surgery for colon cancer, so Chris can get back to reeling them in sooner. Leading the way to make your life stronger. We are Stony Brook Medicine. All we do is all for you.
And we welcome you back, ladies and gentlemen. Second period of Stony Brook Seawolves hockey coming around your way, but here's a replay of our power play goal that was brought to you by Stony Brook Orthopedics, scored by Robert Hyde.
And yeah, that's how we ended up the first period here, tied at 1. Not a lot to report here on the score sheet here. Cassette at 17:41, and then 2 minutes later, Robert Hyde puts the equalizer in. 1 penalty report. And Marius Anglin, 2 minutes for interference, of which Stony Brook capitalized on the Stony Brook Orthopedics power play, knotting this game at 1. Clock reset to 20 minutes. We're ready to go here for the second period.
And this should be a very, very high-octane second period, that is for sure.
Absolutely. A tight first period here at Stony Brook. A very good outing on that on the first period here, as they managed to hold Niagara down to 1 goal, and having a little bit of delay here as the ice is still a bit of a, well, not a little bit, a lot of a soupy mess here.
And we saw that last night, except we were on the other rink, and that had a little bit of a factor as to how some of the play went, as we saw players careening to the ice, and you just never want to see that.
Yeah, it becomes a safety issue. You want to make sure the ice is good to go before we get things rocking and rolling here.
Not only that, too, but it's also you're at a disadvantage. Puck is going to be stopping in all those puddles.
There is a lot of water down in the end zone. Yeah, they need to get the.
And you get the.
They only got 1 squeegee out there. I think they're going to need a whole army to get this thing.
May I add? They should be. They probably should be using the air track dryers they have to dry the racetracks.
I'm thinking about the. They were using the leaf blowers on the ski tracks for
yes.
that over in Milan. Referee Vetrano there doing his best curling impression here to get the ice tidied up here.
Everyone is all in the spirits for the Olympics.
Let's see how many more Olympics-styled puns we can come up here as we kill time here before the start of the second period.
Well, I should add, it's ironically this place has been around for over 40 years, almost 50, maybe over 50 years, and it continues to have more issues than the rink in Milan, which people were carrying on about.
I think what's funny is just a quick sidebar on the Milan rink. When the pictures first came out, there was all the Zoolander references of what is this, a jumbotron for ants? And I felt like the organizers took that personally and like tripled the size of it before the start of the event. So I don't know if it was just intentional that they didn't assemble the whole thing prior to the test tournament, or if it was. Or if the whole thing's just a rented video board, and they're like, yeah, we can probably save a few bucks here by not renting it for the entire duration of this rink's existence.
Well, for the most part, it seems like that rink has.
The hockey's been good.
It's worked to its advantage, that is for sure. As we have a small delay on our hands here, as we wait for the area on the ice, or the areas on the ice to dry up, and.
Yeah, definitely the increase in temperature outside definitely having an effect here. As I got to a nice balmy 42 outside today. But it looks like we're ready to go here. Everyone's happy enough with the ice conditions here. And we'll start the second period.
We start with a jousting match off the draw between Cormatic and Cosette. 2 big men colliding there. Pundik has 10 saves under his belt. Actually, no, 11 saves under his belt, as Regattato with 10 saves to go with his performance so far. Here's Glover trekking through the red line and flipping it in deep. Huntington on the chase. He'll get there. Tried to put it out in front to no avail. Nearly lost an edge. You can start to see that ice conditions starting to play into a factor here again. Cormanek with a swipe and further cleared away by Malik. This gives DeZaro chase against Coulter. Huntington, Coulter on the back end for Niagara. Having trouble clearing the zone. Now Huntington gets it back. Steers it away from pressure, but surrenders it back to the Seawolves, and Haskins will flip it back in. No one there to grab it immediately as Niagara with room to exit out, although they seem to have a challenge with just that. Coulter. Aaron mails it ahead, couldn't find an option in front. Here's McCormick. He runs into trouble, courtesy of Nestepny. Great work by Kyle Nestepny. Tugging and wrestling with McCormick. Play continues as Wenrick tries to keep it in the zone. Robert Hyde, the game's latest goal scorer, on the ice for his first shift here in the second. As this one is sent in deep around the wall by Niagara. They get a line change out of it, but it may cost them as Hyde and the Seawolves came in quickly. However, they couldn't do much there, and here's Bellinger dangling into the backhand. Great save, rebound, score! Another miraculous feat of strength by Bellinger to set up Fancy with the rebound goal, and Niagara is back out in front.
Look at the move here that Bellinger makes here. And then he sets himself up here for a clean breakaway opportunity here. He'll get the shot there. Save is going to be made here by Steven Regattato here. And then the rebound here put away with a tap in.
Lucas Fancy with a six-pack on the year, his 15th point of the season. With that goal, the Purple Eagles have the momentum going for them here in the second. And Bellinger totals his points this weekend to 3. Had a goal and assist last night. He has an assist to go with that one this weekend. Here's a lead feed in front. Poke check play by Pundick to stop that one.
Excellent poke check there to prevent that one from going behind him.
He had a feeling Lorenzo Mara was going to create some noise in some way. Niagara looking to distribute more offense. Instead, it's Stony Brook keeping them at bay.
Regattato with a poke check of his own.
Anastasio curling away from danger. Drops it back to Poirier. Connects with Labos. Labos through the red line. Back in come the Seawolves. Labos denied there by Pundick, and he holds up.
And Stony Brook will get the change. Niagara will finish theirs, and will face it off to the right of Pundick.
Christian Malik been quiet all weekend, trying to find his moments here against the Purple Eagles. Career high for him in head-to-head play against Niagara, in which he recorded his first career hat trick in February of 2024 as Malik gets the possession. There he comes streaking back in, flipping it in deep. Off the corner boards, it's played by the Purple Eagles, Little. Little can't clear out. Stony Brook delivering more pressure here. Purple Eagles trying to exit carefully. Stony Brook, however, with other plans in mind. This one is shot into the corner as Loft tries to exit out. Instead, it's Little connecting with Cowan, and Cowan will send it in deep. Regattato flips it to the near wall. Wesco keeping it in the zone, blows a tire, but play continues as Taylor and McCormick and their chance in front. Shots 14 apiece. Stony Brook, no penalty called. Play continues.
Both sides here complaining for something there as that delayed offsides goes on.
Dean Taylor taking over, connecting with his intended target, Shabbat. And in tight, he's stopped by, I believe that was Reginado collecting another save for himself. Taylor's going to rush over, keep it in the zone. Dean Taylor looking to find some room. McCormick, he's belted to the ice. And perhaps a breakaway chance for Cooper Smith, busting in, save. Pundick coming up big against Smith that time. Back the other way, Shabbat leads it forward, couldn't connect there with McCormick as Sachka is held up along the wall. Trezera leads it forward to Smith. Smith takes the brunt of the force there, and he takes another shot from Shabbat.
Might have been a missed offsides there as the big check there kind of drew everybody's attention.
Shabbat is not holding back whatsoever, hitting everything that's in sight that has the color red. Trezera back in the zone. Can't connect cleanly with Vernillo as Cosette and the Purple Eagles try to spring out. And instead, this is knocked into stealing to stop play.
Take another look at the breakaway opportunity here for the Seawolves here. You get the big check there, and then a good clear springs him forward, and he's got all the time in the world here to make something happen here and tries to go 5-hole, and he just gets shut down.
And you have to wonder what was this, why he made that choice instead of perhaps maybe going for a forehand backhander.
I think the choice there is you want to get something on net, and I fully respect that. Is you don't know what you don't know behind you, and until humans can get some eyes in the back of their head, you want to just take a shot.
That is true. Good point. And Cosette and Glover trying to make some sort of impact here. Penalty called. And no, it's not going against Niagara. It's Stony Brook that will be hit with the infraction. I thought Niagara was going to get called for the penalty.
Take another look at that one as with the extended replay here of the break-in here from Niagara. I want to say holding the stick, maybe? We'll see what the call is.
So Niagara activating the power play unit for the first time today. Unsuccessful on the power play last night. 2 for 10. 2 goals in their last 10 power play attempts over the course of 5 games. Purple Eagles launched on net and cleared away as it played off the boards that time for the Seawolves. Here's Little gathering it up again, slowing things down, trying to open up some real estate in the zone.
The call is tripping.
Stony Brook trying to use their penalty kill advantage against Niagara. Bellinger walks it back in. We get another mix-up, and the Purple Eagles score. It is 3-1 as Charlie Bellinger grabs his 4th point of the weekend, but there was calamity behind the play between Lorenzo Mara and McCormick, and I'm surprised there wasn't anything called when all of that was happening. Well, they're sending both men to the box.
We'll take another look here at the goal.
So Bellinger grabbing his 4th point of the weekend. Just like last night, goal and assist. Now we get a discussion between the officials and the 2 captains. And Shabbat and Cormanic get an explanation. There was a dust-up behind the play. I only saw the tail end of it. With McCormick, I believe that was the one going down to the ice.
What we have here. catch it here at the top right of your screen there as they both get tangled up there.
What I saw at the last minute as the goal was scored was, I don't know if Mara might have gotten a stick up to the helmet and that knocked McCormick down. Obviously, there was a lot of noise happening behind the play, but it doesn't take away from the noise that was generated from Niagara's power play unit. So they are able to convert.
And for the Seawolves, that's a penalty that they probably regretting taking there.
Shots 15 apiece. Bellinger, team high goals this year. He's got 21 under his belt. There's Wenrick skating it back into enemy territory. Couldn't connect there with Cormatic. You have to wonder with this newly found hostility that it's going to make an impact of some sorts in the way this game goes the rest of the way. Here's DeZaro leading the cavalry up ahead. DeZaro just missed. He's been looking for that
Pundick
shot.
just got a piece of that one as it deflects wide here.
He's been looking for a goal in that fashion all weekend. He's had few chances like that. He was able to convert yesterday on a power play. As Stony Brook is starting to see some of that fire being ignited here.
Poirier with time.
Fires, it got blocked in front. Suchka felt that one. Anastasio, now Hyde. Tried to put it out in front to no avail. Anastasio rushes over back in that area as Nestepny finds himself in some difficulty. Nestepny twirls it back in front. Poirier. Nakagawa, Anastasio, quick distributes all around the perimeter. Nakagawa scores!
Pure brilliance here. And Stony Brook brings this one within one as they look like they have a power play on this one here. Good puck work down low here, establish the pressure, and then they just start moving it around. Poirier doesn't like what he got, sends it back over, up to the point, over the Poirier, and then right across there to Nakagawa, who's got everybody dead to rights, and he pockets that one.
The man that literally had no ability to put any weight on his left leg last night.
He had no left kneecap last night, and he's got a goal today.
A message-sending statement by the Seawolves has to say we're not backing down from a fight one bit. It's a one-goal game as Nakagawa grabs his 10th of the year.
And it's a big one here with 11:28 to go in the second. Keeps this one tight. Again, looking back to last year, technically last year in November when they went up to Niagara. Game 2 was a 5-1 loss. It was a bit of a blowout, so to speak. Today, Stony Brook is keeping it tight.
Reminds me of the game they had October of 2024 that went to OT on this very same rink. We'll see if history repeats itself as Niagara leads by a goal. The goal was announced as Peter Labos, but we know for a fact it was Nakagawa. Now we'll sure be corrected on the score sheet. Save made by Reginato.
Yeah.
One-timer in front, kick save and a beauty. Reginato.
Went and just checked the replay again to make sure that we weren't crazy.
Anastasio floats it in. That's a save accounted for by Pundick. Seeing a different type of energy coming from the boys right now, Trevor.
Yeah, a bit of a recharge look for the Seawolves as they're skating with confidence and speed, and here comes a 3-on-3 opportunity here.
DiNapoli roughed up by Loft, but he continues to show fight. Oh, they tag team the captain there. Purple Eagles looking to advance out of the zone. Huntington can't clear out. Possible looks like it was going to be a 2-on-1, but Huntington got his footing back in there. He wrestles with Legret. Play continues. Stony Brook still applying pressure. Hyde. He has 1 goal under his belt today, courtesy of the power play late in the first.
This Stewels team is swarming. They're moving very quick out there.
They are buzzing, that is for sure. Haskins. Couldn't connect there with Hyde. And Cosette couldn't knock it in deep that time. Stepney will bring it back in. Couldn't advance further than there as Niagara tries to escape from their own zone. Back in enemy territory, the Purple Eagles. However, Stony Brook having them by the numbers. Along the wall, trying to dig it out of the scrum there as Hyde keeps the train going. Couldn't do much of anything that time as it's kicked in there by Haskins.
Seals get a partial change here.
Cowan swipes it along the wall. Cesaro will pick it up. Feeds it over. Valenti able to connect with Trezera, but the pass not clean enough that time.
No icing there.
Purple Eagles trying to exit out carefully. Cesaro meeting up with his man that time. Anglin silenced there by the Seawolves. As Cowan couldn't do much that time. Trezera trying to get a bounce and a step. We have more wrestling along the wall between the Trine, Texas native. Here's Trezera. Lost the handle of it. Bernillo trying to make something happen here. Lebo swipes it in deep. Another line change commences for Stony Brook.
Stony Brook almost caught themselves a little greedy there, leaving a Purple Eagle goal hanging a bit.
This one is knocked in through the red line, but not enough for anything to happen for the Purple Eagles. This will sure go, no, it's not going to go in for icing.
Deflected. This one may, though.
No.
No.
They are letting the boys play.
That was just good effort there from Bellinger to beat the icing.
However, there is a penalty that is called. Hooking is signaled. The question is against who?
The call is
By all
hooking.
indications, Joey Anastasio is heading to the box. And this will give Niagara a much-needed boost to bounce back from the goal allowed as they go to their second power play of the afternoon. They were able to convert on the first time around. Now they got another chance to strike once more. Whittle fires. And Breganato taking cover with that save that time.
Niagara successful on their last visit to the power play. Looks to try to make this a 2-goal advantage again. Stony Brook may look to try to spring somebody here, though. Try to knock this one at 3.
Here's Nakagawa. He's going to angrily knock that one along the wall. He's off to the bench. Back on the ice, Cooper Smith. We'll see if he could be a difference maker here on this penalty kill for Stony Brook. He's got the speed and tenacity to make something happen when he puts himself in the right position. They quickly move the puck around in front as it's tapped wide. As Niagara tries to generate another chance here. A stick lays idle in front as that is shot into the mesh and out of play. Oddly enough, that was Kowalski's stick creating an obstacle and a disadvantage for Niagara.
It wasn't just an idle stick, it was a broken stick as I watched him pick it up and snap the blade off as it was already mostly failed.
Niagara trying to find ways to work something here on the man advantage. Shot, save Reganado, and he hurries that one in the glove. Keeping that one from coming loose, as Niagara has the propensity to bang home rebound goals, as we saw last night. And this afternoon. Glover touches it in front! A near perfect deflection by Gudnason that time. As the Purple Eagles continue to work in the zone. One-timer, Glover fans on the blast. Taylor, Gudnason, or pardon me, this is Wesco. Wheeling and dealing at the point. Another one-timer. Not enough on it for Glover as it's caught by Reganado.
Glover might have a broken stick there, as though both of those shots came off awkwardly on his stick.
In any case, if you know your stick is broken, you ought to go to the bench to replace it, but it seems like he just wants to get anything out of it.
I would go back to the bench and just get the backup after those two. And that's going to be an interference penalty here against Niagara coming up.
Trezera.
And maybe more.
Interference. You said it. We'll see who goes to the box here. It's Dean Taylor. And as one player you can't, for Niagara, that you can't afford to lose on the ice. 35 more seconds of 4-on-4 hockey, and then we'll get another power play brought to you by Stony Brook Orthopedic Associates.
Barring further penalties. It's a sign of Stony Brook's speed tonight, though, that the penalties that Niagara are forced to take have been directly related to Stony Brook getting an advantage in some degree. You think about the interference call that happened there, you think about the hook there. It's Stony Brook players going on the opposite side of a Purple Eagle.
Little finds Loft. Delane. Strong feet across, but missing Little as he has to keep it away from Cormanek and everyone else in front. Got the shot off that stopped of Reganado. Time winding down in 4-on-4 play. And the Stony Brook Orthopedic Associates power play begins. They converted ever so quickly last time around on the goal by Robert Hyde. And you have to wonder if he will come onto the ice at some point. That is definitely an obvious, as here's Cormanek.
Cormanek fights that one back to Wenrick at the point.
Quick touches in front. Shot, save, rebound. Tesaro denied twice that time, and it leads to Little. Throwing it in deep. That'll kill off a couple seconds on the Stony Brook power play. Here's Wenrick. Smack it in there. Got deflected off a stick and into the mesh to stop play.
Stony Brook is pointing into the zone here. Is that one deflected off a Niagara stick and out of play? And referees are saying that it's got to go outside.
Robert Hyde back on the ice. Always a dangerous threat when the opportunity presents itself, as we saw back in the first. Legret avoiding disaster along the wall.
Bit of an early check there. Wasn't even on the puck yet.
Hyde. Poirier. Here's Hyde. Firing. Blocked there in front. Poirier still mixing up. Down low. Score! That's a Stony Brook Orthopedic Associates power play goal. They are 2 for 2. It is Peter Labos.
This time it is indeed Peter Labos. We'll replay this one here. This is excellent work behind the net here to get the puck jammed out in front here for Labos to get this one home here. Got the replay on this one, moving in the right direction.
You just had a feeling they were going to convert. They had it set up beautifully. And they timed it ever so perfect. And Huevos, his 8th of the season. And as Trevor alluded to, that one will go down as a goal for Huevos. That's a guarantee. Huntington. And most importantly, this game is tied at 3. Similar to the game we saw back in October of 24 here on this same ice. Seawolves down by 2, fighting their way back to get even with the Purple Eagles. However, that all took place in the 3rd period. We still got
another 23 minutes of hockey to play.
Exactly. And based how that game ended, might have more than just 23 minutes of hockey. Who knows?
Well, we'll see, but we got to get through the second first here as Loft sends this one long.
Just missing the stick of Cowan, who will try to have to make something up for himself. Here's Bellinger, feeds in front. It squeaks by and score! The man is automatic. He's got his 2nd of the game.
Heat-seeking puck on that one here.
It is 4-3 Niagara.
And Niagara will not go quietly, letting Stony Brook here have their way, as a tough angle shot here from behind the goal line finds the back of the net. And that's a tough one.
5th point on the weekend for Charlie Bellinger, his 3rd goal against Reganado. That really took air out of the building. With Stony Brook having all the momentum. Now you have to wonder.
Key is just kind of get back up and don't let this one balloon into something bigger.
Niagara applying pressure once again. Stony Brook trying to clear out. There's Cowan, a swipe and a miss. Wolf there for support. It's fancy swing, that one along the wall. It's turned over. Huevos couldn't get full control of it that time. Banked off the boards, missing the stick of Vernillo, and Pundick will hold up. 1.5 minutes remaining here in the 2nd.
Stony Brook here getting the full line change here. Try to get something going here late in the 2nd. Try to knock this one back at 4.
Big face-off draw coming to the right of Pundick. It's Cormanic. Set for action. He wins it back. Anastasio fires. Sliding glove save that time by Pundick. We'll get a redraw coming up.
Impressively, that one got all the way through the sea of sticks and bodies. This time the faceoff will be to the left of Pundick.
A new location. We'll see if Cormanic can replicate it on the draw. He cannot that time. Here's Cowan. Wesco pursuing the possession as Cowan is tagged along the wall. Wesco trying to fight through the bodies there as Cowan backhands it over to Wesco. Wesco swipes it back to the point. Well, didn't make its way back to the point. Niagara, however, still working as we reach the final 50 seconds of play here in the 2nd. Stony Brook trying to clear out. Here come the Seawolves. Christian Malik with speed. Malik loses the handle of it. May have been a poke check that time by Pundick.
It was a good poke check there from the defense and Pundick there to keep that one out of harm's way.
Stony Brook getting another chance here. 1/2 minute to go. Cowan couldn't do much that time. Anastasio. Here's Labos. It bounces
Labos gets
around.
intercepted.
Mara kicks it forward. Lost his stick. We'll see if what was signaled.
Offsides is the call there, and it was a tight one there.
Is this a penalty? I see the penalty box being opened.
Maybe we got a penalty afterwards there, but the original call was offsides there, as slashing is called now.
So I have to wonder if that's how Mara lost his stick.
I would believe so.
So Wesco in the box, and that is 3 power plays for the Seawolves here today. And we'll see if this one ends in a hurry or if it will carry over to the third. Another Stony Brook Orthopedic Associates power play underway. Poirier, Anastasio, waiting, pulls the trigger but misses the target. And that will do it for 2 periods of play. We head to the third. Niagara leading 4-3. And for Stony Brook, a very energetic 20 minutes of play.
Yeah, absolutely. For the Seawolves here, they're keeping this one close. And if you're Stony Brook, that's what you want going into the third period. Something within reach here. A 1-goal game. You got a power play coming into the third period. And honestly, you got a team out there that's skating hard, skating fast, and a Niagara team that's giving you opportunities to keep this one close here. So for the Seawolves, it's business as usual for this game. Keep going, keep doing what you need to do here. And for Niagara, it's just going to be a matter of keeping your head down and stay disciplined. Don't give Stony Brook any more opportunities than you have to going into the third period.
We have to highlight the power play opportunities because Stony Brook is living up to their billing when it comes to the opportunity. 3 for 6 this weekend on the man advantage.
Yeah, an above-average weekend for the Seawolves on the power play, something they've been struggling with a lot this season, especially at home. And we really love to see that the Seawolves are getting this problem situated, especially against such a high-caliber opponent.
Tom O'Radigan said it best. There's no guarantee of what's going to happen.
Stranger things have happened here, and we will see what happens in the final 20 minutes here at the rinks here. We're going to take a break here. Go grab a snack. We'll be back on LI Sports Network.
At Stony Brook Medicine, our gastroenterologists perform a groundbreaking procedure that restores the ability to eat, so Kevin can enjoy dining out again. Our kidney transplant team has one of the fastest transplant rates in the nation, so Pat can spend time doing what she loves. Our skilled surgeons perform robotic-assisted surgery for colon cancer, so Chris can get back to reeling them in sooner. Leading the way to make your life stronger. We are Stony Brook Medicine. All we do is all for you. At Stony Brook Medicine, our gastroenterologists perform a groundbreaking procedure that restores the ability to eat, so Kevin can enjoy dining out again. Our kidney transplant team has one of the fastest transplant rates in the nation, so Pat can spend time doing what she loves. Our skilled surgeons perform robotic-assisted surgery for colon cancer, so Chris can get back to reeling them in sooner. Leading the way to make your life stronger, we are Stony Brook Medicine. All we do is all for you.
And we welcome you back, ladies and gentlemen. Third period just upon the horizon here at the rinks. And I'll be honest, Trevor, we were talking about this off the air just a few moments ago. I do not know if this third period is going to get started immediately, because look at the conditions on the ice right now.
Yeah, the rinks crew doing the best they can. Bit of a delayed start on the ice cut here, so we might be still a few minutes here until we get the teams back out on the ice. As the referees, I saw some shaking of heads. I saw Tom Meridian doing a bit of a breaststroke and a motion on the bench here, as this ice is very soupy right now, and that's no condition to be playing high-level hockey.
Hey, if there's one player that would enjoy this type of ice, it's the grade 8, Alex Ovechkin.
Well, not when the puck is sticking to the ice and gets undressed by ice conditions. That's never fun.
Well, that's another story for sure. Stony Brook, right now, they're looking to have a storybook ending to their homestand this season. They are just one goal behind right now, behind Niagara, after trailing by 2 at one point in the second period. Before that was all neutralized, immediately erased, courtesy of Justin Nakagawa and Peter Labos.
And we'll go through the scoring summary here at the start of the second period. It was Lucas Fancy at 2:05, assisted by Charlie Bellinger, who got a goal of himself at 6:48 for his 21st of the season. Then Justin Nakagawa brings the Seawolves back into this one, and that was assisted by Charles Poirier and Joseph Anastasio. Then Peter Labos gets his, assisted by Charles Poirier and Nate Legret. And then Charlie Bellinger once again, because he can't avoid the score sheet, pulls a rabbit out of the hat with the behind-the-net goal that ping-pongs off of Reginado and in to make this one 4-3.
It's just another day in the office for Bellinger. Business as usual for 92. He's got 11 goals in head-to-head play against the Seawolves. Actually, pardon me, he's got 10 goals in head-to-head play against the Seawolves, counting last night's goal he scored in the first. He's got 2 under his belt this afternoon.
Some
Robert
of the penalties.
Hyde.
I did see Mara was given a game misconduct on the score sheet.
It's a very interesting anecdote there.
That was at 6:48 when he got hooked up with Colin McCormick, who also got a 10-minute misconduct.
So they will probably be out of the game. Oh, no! Oh, no. That is not good. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Samuel Davies took a puck right to the head. And although he's wearing a cage, by no means, folks, it is not a good sight.
I don't know if they got him in the cage or if it caught him in the back of the head or maybe in the back of the neck or somewhere maybe in between the pads. It's tough to see.
The team medical staff took immediate action to attend to Samuel Davies, playing in his 20th game of this season. Now Tom Moradian enters the ice, and
Looks like it went off the side of the head there. That's that's not a fun place to get it. A lot of movement right away, which is a good sign here, but it looks like they're trying to stabilize the neck now. And usually what follows there is you want to get him off the ice in as safe as possible manner here. So you might have to get a stretcher out here for this one. But that's it's an unfortunate part of the game here. Is the players go out here with a lot of risk. See a lot of players getting off the bench here. Benches have been clear. The players are actually going off to the locker room at this point. Looks like.
And as you called it, it looks like they are indeed bringing out a stretcher, or at least making the call for further medical personnel. Just a scary situation here at the rinks.
Typically, these levels of hockey, they don't have ambulances on site or EMS on site. Typically, they'll usually have a trainer or somebody that's certified to be able to handle most situations here. But this is a situation that's pretty scary, and you have the whole Niagara team surrounding him right now and being with him, and it's never a good situation. So we're gonna take a break here. We're gonna let this play out here. We'll keep you guys updated once we have word as to what's going on here and when we'll be resuming play here. But keep it locked on LI Sports Network here. We'll be back after this injury timeout.
At Stony Brook Medicine, our gastroenterologists perform a groundbreaking procedure that restores the ability to eat, so Kevin can enjoy dining out again. Our kidney transplant team has one of the fastest transplant rates in the nation, so Pat can spend time doing what she loves. Our skilled surgeons perform robotic-assisted surgery for colon cancer, so Chris can get back to reeling them in sooner. Leading the way to make your life stronger. We are Stony Brook Medicine. All we do is all for you.
And we welcome you back to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. We just had a scary situation unfold here in the third period at the rinks. Samuel Davies took a wrist shot up high, and it wasn't your routine block shot or anything like that. The stretcher needed to be brought out, and now all we can think about is our thoughts, prayers, and hopefully Davies has a fast and safe recovery down the road.
Absolutely. It's a scary situation, especially when you get something that happens up in the head and neck area. First thing they want to do is get that stabilized, make sure that nothing else happens to that. We saw him moving around on the ice prior to the medical team getting out there, but they got him stabilized. They got him got the ambulance out, stretchered off, and probably going off for further evaluation. But it slows the game down here a bit for the teams here as they deal with the drama and the situation of it all. But the teams will come back out to the ice now as Stony Brook finally gets back from the locker room. They sent both teams off after the injury, and we're going to face this one off here in the zone here.
You have to wonder how much that delay is going to have an effect on these teams, specifically Niagara. That is such a heavy situation. How do you compartmentalize with that and get yourself back in the right headspace?
Yeah, well, it's a situation where you have to build off that as a team to basically you gotta use that to fuel your team here. Obviously, it's a downer. You lose one of your defensemen out there, and Davies has been a pretty perennial part of this squad here. But you gotta build and rally on that if you're Niagara, and if you're Stony Brook, you just gotta keep your head down and try to take that situation out here.
Let's see if the Seawolves can capitalize here on the continuing power play, and it resumes with the clear made by Niagara.
And for Niagara, it looks like business as usual as they clear the puck without much effort.
Anastasio walks it back in, takes a ride to the corner wall there before it's cleared away by Niagara.
Reginaldo will stop it for Portier.
Very reminiscent of last night. Stony Brook not able to get something going in the early going of the power play. Niagara just with the immediate clear and dump. But here they come with speed. Save made there that time by Niagara's Pundick, and another clear.
Anastasio will take it this time. Leaves it for Poirier.
Poirier bringing it through the blue line. Drops it to, there's Lorenzo Mera. He's back in the game. One of the two players that were hit with misconduct penalties.
Evidently was not a game misconduct.
No, it's your 10-minute misconduct.
Just reading the score sheet.
It's all good. Haskins, now it's Wenrick.
Uneventful power play for the Seawolves as we go back to 5-a-side.
Wenrick with a chance blocked there. I think that was Taylor that was in his way that time. Desaro flings it on, and it's stopped by Pundick. You can definitely tell the tempo of this game has changed considerably after the situation with Davies.
Yeah, it's gonna reset things a bit. You're gonna see a little bit more of a calmness here. Hockey's an emotional sport. And if you didn't see something explosive immediately following that, I think I don't want to say the game's going to kind of stay in neutral here, because I think teams are still going to go hard and skate hard, especially Bellinger here.
Absolutely. And Bellinger with a big weekend so far. He's got 3 goals under his belt, 5 points in total this weekend against the Seawolves here on the islands.
I'm not expecting things to go off the rails.
Cormanek, 2-on-1 chance here. And Pundick shuts the door on Malik. They had the 2-on-1, but there was a backtracking second defenseman that was creating pressure. It may have stopped Malik from getting a better chance that time.
Indeed. The Seawolves still finding opportunities here early in the third period. Down 1, they need 1 to tie.
Mara right off the draw. Labos couldn't pull the trigger in time. Mara's going to play it off the wall in the corner. Whittle. Glover being hounded by multiple jerseys in white. There's Vernillo. Plays it to the far side. Trezara's going to get a hold of it. Take a hit for a good measure. Full set. And another player.
Bit of friendly fire in the corner.
With Vernillo putting on the moves down low. Shot in front. And save made by Pundick to stop play.
Seawolves continuing to buzz in the offensive zone here, getting their 29th shot on goal.
Here's Robert Hyde. Nakagawa and the Stepney back in the mix. Wesco plays it off the boards. Poirier gets it back, twists it back in deep. This gives Nestepny chase. Takes it around the wall, wraparound chance, no one home. A good effort nonetheless, as Wesco brings it back in. Stony Brook peeling back. Wesco couldn't finish the job that time. Closing in on the 5-minute mark here in the third period. Nakagawa bumped off the possession there as Hyde goes in for the hunt. Niagara will play it through the red line in the catching body of Breganato, who holds up.
Offensive zone faceoff here for the Purple Eagles. Stony Brook not finding anything on that early power play. Bit disjointed with the injury timeout and effective reskate that happened.
Sachka couldn't win the draw there. This one is angled ahead. Kormanek couldn't play that one cleanly. Sachka wipes it back in the zone, or Malik will reset. Plays it off the glass, but back in the hands of Schneidmiller. Niagara having some difficulty setting up a situation until now. Save. Reganato playing deep out of his net that time.
Cutting the angle down there, but Stony Brook has to be a little stronger in front of the net there on those rebounds.
Another chance, another denial by Reganato. There's another play out in front to no avail. Another chance misfiring for Sachka. A chance from the top, another save by Reganato. Multiple stops in this sequence by Steven Reganato. The Seawolves still trail by a goal. Centering feed wouldn't go that time to Zaro. Trying to get a launch out of the zone.
Gets it out, but not too far. Niagara's going to get a change now. Stony Brook will too.
Malik went down in a heap. Seawolves resetting ever so quickly. Here's Mara. Speed boost engaged. Vernillo's touched that one. It got denied by Pundick. Here's Niagara back the other way. Watch out! Lorenzo Mara delivers
puts Bellinger
the
into the bench. Bellinger loses some of his gloves in the bench.
Here's Loft. He's going to knife it across. Or Little handles business. Sends it in front. Couldn't make the connection with Bellinger. Vernillo can't clear the zone. Watch out. Anastasio quickly hurries his way through the red line with Labos. Labos mixing it back up. Lucas Fancy trying to take over down low. Vernillo offering support. A jousting match ensuing in the end boards as the Seawolves trying to find an opportunity here. Wenrick from the top, sliding save. Rebounds, Huevos couldn't put it home, and it's cleared out by the Purple Eagles. No icing here.
Shot didn't even get all the way through. It got caught in the sea of bodies in front.
Here is Wenrick. Carries this one in, slamming on the brakes. Feeds it in front!
Doesn't go.
Had Cooper Smith creating havoc in the crease. Back the other way, Dean Taylor fires over and wide. McCormick couldn't get a clean touch on it. Allows Stony Brook to create more pressure. And Smith applies some of that pressure in the zone. Just missing the stick of Legret.
Still in the zone.
Continues the battle away against Cosette. Now McCormick will drive in the other way. Trezera plays off the boards. And a crucial mistake there. Luckily, Niagara not able to punch it home. It bounces around as Cormatic on the ice, trying to get a hold of it. He's got it. Here is the captain. He leads it ahead. Malik, contact there. Play continues. This one is dumped off the glass, handled by Anastasio. Older brother Matthew not in the lineup for this afternoon. Malik couldn't keep it in the zone, and at least the Wesco breaking in with speed, almost taking it away from him.
A great defensive poke check there to prevent that one from going 2-on-1.
Poirier roughed up in the neutral zone. As this one is sent out of harm's way, it's going to be touched up for icing. And how about this for a big break on Stony Brook?
See what they could do here. Stony Brook opting to take the face-off to the left. Pundik.
They've had their fair share of chances in this third period so far. Niagara has been able to neutralize them in all of those moments. Seawolves, though, still hungry and not giving up without a fight. Anastasio plays it in front, just missing the deflection of Hyde, as Hyde continues to work in the zone. This one couldn't be cleared out. It's flipped in deep. That gives Nakagawa chase. Hyde there for support, but it's Niagara who's able to push out, but not without Hyde distributing some punishment.
A good check there on the back check from Hyde to turn the puck over.
The Stepney shakes by one. Has some trouble getting through the obstacle in front of him, and that allows Niagara to get the possession. And here they come with roaring speed Fancy. Lucas Fancy can't do much there down low. Anastasio continuing to protect, but it's coughed up. Shot into the glove of Reginado, who holds up.
And Stony Brook still giving it their all here. We got 10:42 to go here in the third period. It's a one-goal game. It's kind of right where you want to be if you're trying to come back better than the situation they were in yesterday, down 2. And not only that, you've been able to find some answers against the goaltender in the net. So you can see they're still skating with tons of confidence out there.
Twisted back, and Haskins will handle it from the back end. Surrender back into the hands of McCormick as Niagara tries to work through the red line. Instead, it's Mara on the intercept. Couldn't do much there as Stony Brook has to pull back a bit. Sachka, or pardon me, this is Cowan. Working back in the zone, feeds it in front. Connection couldn't be made there. Oh, watch out. Haskins got belted at the side of the net. Play continues. McCormick gives it on over. Taylor fires, blocked away by Reginado. McCormick, fadeaway chance through a screen of bodies. Steven Reganado, Superman in front. Another chance, one-timer. Blocked there. That time by Labos and cleared out. What a sequence.
And Seals get the soft dump there, and everyone gets off the ice. What a sequence indeed. Reganado with a brilliant save. Labos with a brilliant block.
Watch out, Poirier bracing for impact as Cormanek tries to clear out. He offers support right in front of the Seawolves bench. Seawolves do force it out of harm's way. Cormanek giving chase. This one is angled ahead but missing the stick of Sheffield and going for icing.
Stony Brook again with an opportunity. The offensive zone draw. See where they take it. I think we're opting for close side here.
And we'll see if that sequence gives Stony Brook some much needed energy to tie this thing up.
We'll try to draw this one back.
The far wall. Cesaro trying to get it back. Instead, Sochka leads it forward. Sheffield gets by Kowalski. Drives in, short side denied by Reganado. Another save accounted for 29 of Stony Brook.
Quick whistle there as that puck sprung loose. Reganado's not going to complain about that as we get a new defensive pairing out here for the Purple Eagles.
Louis Shabbat. 25th appearance this season for the Purple Eagles. Quiet weekend for him. Has had many chances, but hasn't been able to capitalize. Stony Brook starting for the back end once again. Through the red line. Tizarro skating it in deep. Tizarro looking for an option. Finds it on the far side. It got blocked. Rebound in front. Sent over the net and off the glass.
Think he had Malik on the back door as well, but opted for the shot.
It was the right decision for sure, but the defenseman getting in the way just at the wrong time for Cormanek. And Hyde giving chase as he tries to extend his points to another day. Valencia shoots it in there, and it's stopped by Pundik, who holds up.
Lindsay kept that one right on the line there as he gets the shot on goal, and yet another offensive zone faceoff here to the left of Pundik.
8:06 remaining. Stony Brook applying more pressure against the Purple Eagles. The 20th ranked team in the ACHA. Trailing by a goal to the third best team in the conference. There's Niagara. Leads, and a big check thrown. Is that Nakagawa or?
I believe so, but we got an either a hand pass or an offsides here.
He bulldozed through his man. And that's what you want to see out of your players, especially in this type of atmosphere. One is won back by Cosette. It gives McCormick chase. He's got to go back and grab it quickly. He lofts it out of harm's way, but hand pass signals. We'll get a redraw coming up.
Face it off outside the zone or deep in the Seawolves zone. We'll see where they put it. Looks like it's going to be at center ice.
A rare face-off draw.
Sorry.
A rare face-off draw in the neutral zone. McCormick plays it in deep. Valenti taking over once again for Stony Brook. Here comes Peter Labos. Smushed against the boards. Play continues for Stony Brook. Vernillo. Can they finish it? No, they cannot. Big stop there by Pundik. Stony Brook getting their chances. Another chance missing.
Vernillo got a stick on that one.
Niagara couldn't clear out. Trezera bumped against the glass. Stony Brook still giving pressure to the Purple Eagles.
And that's still not out. Labos will give chase.
Watch out, Mara on the intercept. Here is Mara. Cesaro tried to go for the hits, and it allows Niagara to push out of harm's way. But Mara coming in at all angles. We get an icing against Stony Brook. Labos went down. Not sure if there was any retaliation done on the part of Niagara there that time.
If there was, nobody saw it.
6.5 to go. You have to wonder when one of these teams is going to call a timeout and if Chris Garofalo is going to do just that first.
Don't hold me to it. It'll probably be around 2.5 minutes.
All right. Chance save.
Big one there for Reginado as he corrals that one.
Certainly. Had a lot of traffic building up in front there.
This is the storm they got to weather right now.
Absolutely. Anastasio curls away from danger. Now Wenrick. A speed forward. Just misconnects on that chance that time. As Niagara tries to clear the zone. Stony Brook trying to offer other plans here. Another clear made by the Purple Eagles. It's rolling towards Reginado, no icing. He's going to play it aside to Anastasio. He'll set it up from back there. Couldn't get it through the red line as Bellinger is the last man you want to give it to. Bellinger, swipe and a miss, turnaround, shot around the wall, and Schneidmiller. And the Purple Eagles trying to open up a chance here, and that is blocked. Another chance, another shot, and stopped again. Reginado holding his own at the time being.
Clock quickly becoming an enemy of the Seawolves here. We're down to 5:22 in this third period. Purple Eagles have been ramping up the pressure as of late. I just saw Bellinger take an awkward fall into the bench there.
Shabbat. Pardon me, this is Gudnanson, spins it across, no one home. Shot from the top, missing wide of everyone. Everyone had to take cover there as Poirier tries to clear out. Seawolves having difficulty doing just that. Poirier couldn't handle that one cleanly. Niagara staying in the zone just a little bit more. Stony Brook looking for a zone exit. Now they got room to push forward, but they couldn't do it there.
I saw the consideration for a call there.
Wesco denied as he came in with speed. Reginado held the door.
Saw the ref do one of these and quickly put his arm back to the side as they're letting them go here, within reason, of course. And it's been a pretty good game overall.
Gudnanson to Napoli. Pardon me, this is Mara, both winded and tired. And that chance by Taylor got blocked by Labos.
Labos laying out again.
Labos tried to get it across to no avail. Through the blue line, another shot denied that time. Wesco gets by Labos. Wesco couldn't flip it across in time. Stony Brook can't clear out once again. Gudnanson drops it over to the far wall where Poirier will try to clear out. Stony Brook have some room to push ahead. Progressing forward is Mara. Gets by! Mara! Niagara. Stopped! Rebound, it's loose! And further covered up by Pudnick.
Mara wants that one back.
He certainly does.
Stony Brook has had a couple breakaway opportunities now and have come up empty.
Puck started to roll and bounce off his stick, and before you know it, he was right in the face of Pudnick. You said it best. One opportunity that he would love to have back or change the outcome of is when Malik played it back. Shot went wide. Desaro plays it back in front. Cormanek couldn't do much there. Cormanek chops it along the wall, and this will be knocked to the ceiling to stop play.
Stony Brook gets another offensive zone faceoff here. 3:42 to go in the third period. Stony Brook just needs to get one here. They don't have to rush it here, but it's got to be a quality chance here. Try to get the puck pressure established and get things moving around.
Cormanek couldn't put it out in front there. He roughs up Sachka as this is cleared down the other end for icing.
And we'll do it again.
Niagara's current line in a precarious position with 3.5 to go here in regulation. Tie up on the draw. Shabbat couldn't shovel it out of harm's way. Cormanek chasing behind the goal, wrap around, wouldn't go. A conference along the wall ensues. Desaro pulls the trigger but got deflected off of Shabbat's stick and out of play.
Down to 3:11.
The chances are coming for the Seawolves. The only question remains, can they put it home? They have a heavy arsenal intact at this very moment. With Nakagawa taking the draw, Niagara trying to clear out of the zone. And once again, it's held up along the wall before Fancy breaks out. It's further cleared out of harm's way by the Purple Eagles, giving Anastasio chase. Joey Anastasio couldn't connect cleanly with Nestepny. However, Stony Brook able to clear out of the zone. This is the time of the game where you don't want to just be hurrying the puck out of the zone. You want to get something going. Generate a big breakout play, perhaps. Here's Wenrick. He flips it in deep. Stepney trying to hunt it away from the Purple Eagles. Here's Wenrick shoveling it back in. As Schneidmiller leads it forward. Bellinger. A pair of goals today. So we approach the 2-minute warning of this hockey game. Stony Brook pushing back in the zone, Vernillo. Fancy holding it in the corner, dancing away from danger. Stony Brook with another opportunity. Mara leads it ahead, couldn't connect with Vernillo as Dean Taylor and the Purple Eagles are just a minute and a half away from winning the game. Mara's denied in front. Two consecutive shifts where he just missed the goal by mere mark. Heavy check thrown on Hyde. We close in on the final minute of play in this hockey game. And this is going to reach the end board. No, it's not going to be touched up for icing. Out. What an effort by Robert Hyde. Cormanek looking to deliver a big moment here. We get a stoppage.
Puck out of play here. And now I think we're going to see it. And Looks like the timeout has been called here for the Seawolves. And I think Reginato is going to start this one from the bench.
I mean, you have to at this point. This is all hands on deck. Less than a minute to go. And a chance of tying the game up.
This is an NHL rules where the puck out of play like that results in a penalty, but does result in a restriction of change.
We do have a conference between the officials, but I do not believe it's going to result in any turnover.
Nope.
Of that.
Because of the different dimensions of every rink, it would be that some rinks have shorter glass, some rinks have the tall glass all the way around. Our rink in particular has different types of glass in the back.
Yes. It's a big moment here. Andrew Begolucci writing up what could be a momentous play if it does succeed. He sends the troops back out on the ice. Nakagawa, Cormatic. Those two connected late in that 2024 game that went to OT.
Empty bucket for the Seawolves. 6-on-5 we play.
We'll see if Magic can strike twice here. Empty yawning for the Seawolves. A lot of pressure being applied here by Stony Brook against Niagara. Cormatic, Nakagawa at the point. Here's Nakagawa, twists it back. Wenrick, shot from the top, blocked. Rebound, scramble. It stays loose, another chance, another shot, and it's denied by Pudnick with 26.5 to go.
Good looks and opportunities for the Seawolves there. The Purple Eagles staying perfect in their defensive formation.
They make a minor shift in the defense. Bring some new faces on the ice to try to win them this game. Stony Brook, Nakagawa controlling, plays it down low. Mara. Back at the point. Nakagawa plays it off the boards. Cesaro, Cormatic.
10 seconds.
From the top, in front, scramble. No, they cannot put it home.
5 seconds. 3.
Wenrick from the top again. And that is it. Niagara survives chaos at the end, and the Purple Eagles stretch their win streak to 7 games as they improve their record to 22
and 4.
Yes. As for Stony Brook, they will leave with their heads high despite the defeats in back-to-back games, but
These are the 2 close games here against the Purple Eagles here, much closer than I expected. I knew we were going to have some good games this weekend. I hope I didn't undersell it in the last home game. But for the Seawolves, they're going to conclude their homestand here against the Purple Eagles here, dropping 2 here, but in 2 close ones. And as a tune-up here going into playoffs and going into nationals, this is definitely a good look for them as they were able to accomplish a lot of things that they were struggling with. They were able to capitalize on power plays. They were able to establish good offensive pressure. Breakouts were looking good throughout the game. Obviously, you don't walk away with the win, but you got to take what you won here in terms of opportunities that you got and try to clean some of that up in practice. But for the Seawolves, this is a tough team. This is one of the best teams in the country, and for good reason. For Stony Brook, it's onward to Oswego to wrap up the regular season and then the ACCHL playoffs and see how things shake out national ranking-wise for nationals. But any closing thoughts for the season, for the home season at least?
Just a lot of great memories. It's I'm in my 5th season of calling these games, maybe my 4th season. I'm losing track of the numbers. So many great memories that's clouding my head, and all I can say is I'm blessed, I'm fortunate to get to call these games with you, Trevor, and I hope to be back on board once fall comes around when we get to do this again in October.
Yeah, likewise, it's great and a lot of fun to call these games, and we do a lot of this is love for the game here as we're doing this for free here over with in collaboration with LI Sports Network this year. We're happy to be continuing that partnership with them in the next season, and we look forward to what we can do with some of the more interesting rivalries coming down the pipe here. As we have Farmingdale State coming into M1 next season, and we're looking forward to maybe doing some bigger productions with the LISN team as those games get scheduled.
And that was a fun sneak peek of what was to come for the many years between Stony Brook and Farmingdale, that is for sure.
Absolutely. But as for the Seawolves, again, they go on the road to Oswego to wrap up the regular season. And we want to thank everybody for sticking with us through the season here, the highs, the lows, the wins, the losses, and the technical gaffes galore. But for myself, for Gen Game Media, for all the folks on my team to make it happen, that's Jacob Koch, Mike Salinas, and myself, Trevor Mignani. We want to thank you all for being with us here, watching the streams. It means a lot that you guys tune in for these home broadcasts. But with that, I think it's time we wrap up and we get out of here and pack up for the last time this season. So for everybody here, for Mike Calandra, for myself, Trevor Mignani, and for everybody at LISN that helps make this possible, thank you for watching, and we will see you next season here on LI Sports Network.